Welcome back to the Silent Plus podcast. My name is Josh Watford, and directly across the table from me is
John Nicholson. I'm here.
But we have two very, very special guests with us. To my left is
Rebecca Watford.
Yeah.
The wife of Josh Watford.
That's right. And to my right
is Vanessa Nicholson.
Wow, we have the pastor's wives. So
So hang on, folks.
We're not in trouble. We didn't do anything wrong.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. But we wanted to have a special Christmas episode with our wives with us, and decided to call them in and just to chit-chat.
Yeah, pre-show stuff. They were already unpacking the Muppet Christmas and Peanuts and all these kinds of things. So no telling what we're going to get into here.
So John's got some questions for us. He's already thought this through.
Absolutely.
100% all the way through.
We've got this
he's got a
running for us here.
A 3-level deep outline ready for us.
Not at all. We had our staff Christmas gathering, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now. And just kind of went around the table asking everybody's favorite Christmas movie, and that was fun. And, of course, so I've got to ask that, and just for you folks to kind of plug into this as well, get to know us a little bit. And it's a no-brainer for Rebecca. We already know what hers is.
Every year since I was a small child, The Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine and the Muppet cast. It's just a fantastic Christmas movie. A family favorite in the Malfers household.
But your whole family.
My whole family.
Is into Muppets.
Yes.
Just generally.
Just in general. But
not just the Muppets Christmas Carol. But
the Muppet Christmas Carol is the quintessential,
It's kind of like the pinnacle of all Muppetdom. Is that what
it really is. I mean, we didn't...
Muppetdom.
Right.
What a word.
We would watch other Muppet. Sorry. I have to use that at the Christmas table. So we watch other Muppet movies, but that was always the tradition. We would decorate the tree, usually on Christmas Eve, not by necessarily planning. That just was what ended up happened. Everyone in one place at the same time. So we would do that and watch Muppet Christmas Carol.
All right, so what's your favorite moment in the Muppet Christmas Carol?
I have a couple. Okay, so I can't really narrow it down to one because, there's a progression. You have Ebenezer Scrooge growing throughout the film, and you can't really it's like our lives. You can't really take one piece of that and say this was the best part of it because there's, I guess if you're a Christian, then salvation's the best part of it. But there's other better parts, good parts too. So, so I really appreciate. It's really a sad moment, but I kind of like it because at the end it comes full circle. The little bunny in the very beginning that he gets angry at whenever he's shivering in the cold. That's not my favorite part, but at the end, he's the one that Scrooge is calling a remarkable lad and an intelligent lad, and he's like, "Thank you." Anyway, I think that's a great. I just love that. That I guess it's really a character, not really a part, but the best part. This really emotional part of acting where Michael Caine is, Scrooge, is at the Christmas party and realizes that he's not wanted by anybody, and it's kind of a turning point in his character. And then, of course, that at the end you have him going to the Cratchit's house and, going to pay off their mortgage. And that's just a fantastic moment when everyone comes in and sings "The Love We Found." It's just great. It's such a great part.
I think she's got it narrowed down here.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, that was a longer answer.
No, that's good. That's good
that
stuff.
works.
All right, so, Van, favorite movie?
There are so many. We were talking about the Peanuts. I love that movie. I know. I know. I do.
But you were telling us that you can't find it anywhere.
I can't find it anywhere. I do have it on a DVD, so I can watch it. But I can't find it on YouTube, Netflix, anywhere. So you have to do all of this stuff.
Technology is not Vanessa's.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I can do it. I can read and follow the instructions. But it's just one of those things that I'm like, I'm not gonna do all that. I've got it on a DVD. I'll just watch it.
So we got Peanuts. What else?
So, I love It's a Wonderful Life. Every year I have to watch that, and it's just it's a wonderful reminder, building the relationships, the friendships, and whatnot, and what that looks like. Of course, in the movie, I wish I'd never been born, and of course he is able to go through his whole entire life, and no one knows him. He's not recognized in his town. You just didn't realize the influence that he had as he was growing up while he was involved and whatnot in that town. So that's a neat thing to be able to see that. The investments that, you may purposely realize you're making those investments. You might not realize it at all. You know, it might just be an acquaintance, but you know, you just never know when you're going to change somebody's life. So, and what you do or what you say, that type of thing. So I like that.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass myself at the Christmas party, but I've never seen it. So
I was about to say that too.
Oh,
I've never
my
actually
goodness.
seen it.
You haven't either?
No.
Okay, so
No, it's not
We're
like
watching
you-
it tonight. Come to the house.
you and I are going
I'm
to have to sit
realizing-
down and watch it.
Just
My Christmas movie list is very, very narrow. It's Muppet Christmas Carol, Elf, and like a handful of other things.
No,
That's
not just
incredible.
a
I did not
handful, but like
realize
1,000 Hallmark movies.
I have.
Those
I
don't
just,
count. That's a whole different, separate genre.
Yeah, they're not even really.
Yeah,
not even classified
that's
as
all right.
movies. Just little. It's the same
soap
story.
operas.
I can't believe y'all have never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
No.
that's just
It makes
not
me
something
cry every
that-
year, and I mean, I
It's
know
such a-
exactly.
I mean, it is such a beautiful, redemptive movie.
Yeah.
In so many ways. It absolutely
I've not
Yes.
intentionally avoided it. It's just not
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that I've watched.
Yep. Monica Nichols, they watched it for the first time this year. She'd
Oh, wow.
never seen it. She said they were just crying. So, and I mean, I can see it. I mean, there are several points in the movie that, even though I know exactly what's going to happen, I mean, it's like my blood pressure goes up, and I get, you know, really all, you know, anxious and stuff for the yucky stuff that's going on in the movie. And even though I know it's going to work itself out, I'm still kind of like I've never seen this movie before in my life. So and then
Interesting.
At the
Like,
end,
one of
I'm
your
hysterical.
your favorite movies is about someone who, whenever he's gone, the impact he made was very actually kind of positive. But then, if I'm understanding the plot correctly,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
never seen it,
Yes.
and then Scrooge is
I know.
someone. If he was gone, everyone would have been happier because he wouldn't be
it's
evicting
just-
people.
I know,
on
that's
Christmas.
true. That's exactly true.
Interesting. Yeah.
Good to know.
Let's not dive off into the psychology.
Yeah, here we go. That's right. We're going to analyze all the
I'm
Christmas
now
things.
pondering that one. Yeah.
Sometimes
so
you
funny.
just need to take that jump, though.
All right. So, Josh, yours was?
Mine was Elf.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Funny.
You're so shallow.
I'm just glad he didn't say Die Hard. Okay? I'm just glad.
No, that's another one that I haven't seen.
Well,
You've never seen Die Hard?
You know,
Josh.
I was not a big movie watcher when I was growing up.
Wow.
see,
But everybody's seen that.
Not everybody.
Obviously
I have
not
not seen it
everybody.
either.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
obviously
So-
I
not.
really haven't missed a whole lot, but anyway,
That's right.
it's one of those
Yeah.
cool
I read the
Uh,
plot synopsis because it was so culturally relevant. I felt like to know what it was about.
Yeah.
And I read the plot synopsis on IMDb one time, so I feel like I've watched it.
Okay.
I feel like
Fair
I've not
enough.
wasted any
But
time.
yeah,
Elf.
there's just parts about Elf. And yes, it's totally superficial. Like there's no
But
like
it is
I don't
was talking about
hilarious.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
just
gosh,
like
I
laughing.
find myself
I don't
laughing
come-
out loud
Right.
with that movie.
I don't come away from Elf thinking, "Wow, my life has changed." I don't. I just come away thinking that was
fun.
That was a well spent hour and a half of my life.
Yeah.
Because man, when he jumps off of the couch and lands onto the Christmas tree, I crack up every single time. There's very few parts
Oh
of
my
movies that I
gosh.
laugh every single time I watch it, no matter how many times I watch it, and that's one of them.
That is hilarious.
Just every time I watch it, that and when he's having the conversation with the mailroom guy down in the mailroom,
26 years old.
down 26 years old. I just crack up, man. It's just so funny. And so yeah, Elf has to be one of my favorites.
That is so good.
Yeah.
So fun. So
I love the part when he's Santa, you know, he's waving to Santa, and then the other guy, you know, comes in and sits down. He's like, "You're not Santa. You're not Santa.
You smell like beef and
You
cheese.
smell like beef and cheese." I know. I'm like, "Oh, this is going to get bad with these kids really fast." That's
Oh my
hilarious.
goodness, Christmas.
All right, back on track.
You
Favorite.
edit this, right? Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna edit, but not a whole
It's
lot.
pretty raw as it comes out.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
what we
raw.
do. That's good.
Favorite Christmas traditions. Either grown up or even now.
We started a new one
We
last
started
night.
a new one just last night that I really, really liked.
Yeah, we kind of.
Do
took
tell.
Yes. Okay. So we took some snippets of a bunch of different things, right? Then you have. We don't. We.
Well, hold on, back up. Miss Betty Ann and Mr. David Sanders gave us six ornaments of Bible characters.
Little
Oh,
porcelain
wow, cool.
ornaments
Okay.
last year, and a note that said that the tradition was to, like a family tradition of theirs was to read the stories of these characters with the kids, and then put the ornament on the tree after you read it.
What a cool
Oh,
idea.
that's neat.
So there's 6 of those, and then the Harpers were telling us about, or Brittany was telling me about how when they do their Advent story every night, Roger makes a big production out of it and turns off all the lights in the house. I think I'm getting this right. And then they light their candles, you know, and they read their story. So there's some sort of variation of that. So what we did was last night we have 7 candles that we found from around the house, and we got those characters. And Josh started with Noah was the first one, and we talked about creation with our globe there and talked about creation. And it was really neat talking about the world being dark as we're sitting in the dark, but with one candle that he's reading the story from. And the boys are sitting on pillows on the floor watching Josh read.
They paid attention more than any other night that I've ever read a Bible
Wow.
story. Usually we're like wrangling them. We usually sit on the couch and read together.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was
the
just
theater of the moment.
Yeah,
That's it.
And so
Something's different.
I'm interested to see if that changes throughout the week, or if this is like something that, because I'm fine with doing this every single night.
All right,
Hey,
so
listen.
tune in next week and we'll give you
Right.
that.
Right, yeah, we'll give you that day.
We'll add a candle every night, and then on Christmas Eve, we'll turn on all the Christmas lights before
wow,
they go to
right.
bed. Because last night we didn't have the Christmas lights on when they went to bed. We've had them on throughout the day.
Sure.
But whenever that time came, we turned them all off so it's dark. But as we talk about the light of the world, we'll have all the lights
What
on.
a neat thing. I love that.
I'm excited.
Building that Advent anticipation. That's
Which
a
is
beautiful thing.
kind of the point. One of the points of Advent is you build up this anticipation
Right.
of Christ coming, and then not just Christ coming, but his death and resurrection, and ultimately his return.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
It's beautiful.
Thought it went well last night.
Nice.
So
That's a great-
yeah, we'll give you all an
That's
update.
fabulous. Yeah, I like that.
Favorite Christmas
Tonight
tradition?
when they take down the Christmas tree, we'll let you know.
If you're screaming from your house, it's not a good night. I'm trying to remember, even when I was a little girl, we would go out into the woods and cut down a tree. I remember that, and it would always be one of the cedar trees, that kind of thing,
Yep.
the kind that sticks you and whatnot.
right.
So, but as a child, I thought it was beautiful because what was on it?
Tinsel.
Tinsel was on it. That tinsel you throw on the tree. I thought it was
Yep.
beautiful. John hates it.
Maybe
hates it.
into
and
our
they hate
relationship
it.
over tinsel.
I know. I was like, good grief. So, but anyway, since we've had children, that's another thing that we do. We go together, pick out our Christmas tree and whatnot, make a big deal out of that. And actually, since our children were born, I think this is the first year that we have not all gone together
Right.
as a collective group to go and get the tree and do all of that. And then we get together later, decorate the tree. We don't have a single ornament on a tree right now, and right now I'm okay with that. I don't know why. I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess our newest tradition is after Christmas when we set the tree on fire
Yep.
in the yard, which is it's really kind of cool.
The
just for
burning
a
of the
few minutes.
trees, that's right.
So, yeah, so this, Advent, Epiphany, whatever kind of, it's probably not going to really happen with us because it scares me to death to have that tree in the house too long because I've seen what it does in the yard when we set it on fire.
They still
I
put
don't-
real candles on them in
I
Denmark.
can't even
What?
imagine that.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine that because I don't want our legacy to be that yes, we burnt down the parsonage.
These are like chopped down trees. They're not like potted trees they have in the house.
No,
right?
they're-
They're
People
like-
do that.
yeah.
Christmas trees that they actually
Yeah.
Put
still-
fire onto you.
Yeah, you
Put
take the
fire
candle,
on
you
those
light
trees.
it, put a little wax spot on it, put the candle on it.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a
Yeah.
whole other thing.
I mean,
Okay.
yes, that scares me.
It
to
has
death.
been, for me, it's when we do decorate the tree, and partly because it's the joy of being together, but also all the stories. I mean, because we
Yeah, with
recall
every
who
ornament.
gave us
Yeah.
that ornament and the story of
Ugly
this
paintbrush.
one. Yeah, the paintbrush. And our one remaining little wooden
That's
soldier
right, from
that's
our very
there.
first Christmas.
Very
That's
first
right.
Christmas tree that we had. And that's the only one that has survived the long years. So
Yeah.
a lot of that, and we just kind of backed into the whole burning of the trees, but it's become something that's really significant for us.
Yeah, because y'all burned the lights and everything on it.
Oh yeah, it's all gone. We
That's
take the
the
ornaments
pretty part.
off,
I
but
know
yeah.
the environmentalists are going,
Yeah, that's right.
right now, but
Censor
But,
that, censor
uh,
that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's right.
that one.
Just by the
Part
way,
out.
if you have never witnessed a Christmas tree going up in flames, it's pretty spectacular, and it always gives me pause to think that thing was in our house.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's like a rocket going off. I mean, they just go up immediately. So, but it's been kind of a cool thing, and just the coming of the light. It's a neat moment for us. So we enjoyed that.
All right, favorite Christmas food.
Oh,
Is there
Oh,
any sort of
gosh.
food that you associate with Christmas that is your favorite? I'll start.
go.
My mom used to make white chocolate covered bugles.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
not-
Okay.
you know the pretzels, you know the other
Salty
things.
thing.
She did bugles, and they would come into clumps. And I
I've
would
never
think
heard of that.
I rarely ate bugles except for on Christmas or around Christmas time. That's when she would make it.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's interesting. What you got?
Well, it's kind of actually Thanksgiving and Christmas food. We always do pumpkin pie. And
I knew it had to be some pumpkin something. With
I
it.
eat, well, so fun fact about me, whenever I was 10 years old, I ate 3.5 pumpkin pies all by myself in one day. Less than 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
I actually didn't realize I was consuming that much until someone started complaining about the pumpkin pies being all gone. And then realizing that I was the only person who ate any. And then we have cranberry salad. I know Miss Irma Jean loves the cranberry salad. We do that every year. And this...
With the real cranberries.
Real cranberries, oranges, pineapple. We're also... I'm thinking about for Christmas this year putting a little bit of rosemary in there to give it a little more of like a wintry kind of flavor. We'll see how that turns out. I'll give you that update whenever we update you how the kids did with Advent.
Favorite Christmas food? What you got?
As weird as it is, the Martha Washington candy.
Oh, what's that?
I know that's
What
weird.
is that? What are you talking about?
It's the cherry.
Oh, yeah.
Thing. It's this. I don't even know.
It's cherry
this,
goop covered in chocolate.
I was going to say, and
chocolate
it's
covered cherry?
fabulous.
No, it's not
It's
a chocolate. It's not a cherry.
It's like cherries and pecans.
Nougat.
And
I don't know what you call it.
and condensed milk, and I'm trying to think what else. Coconut.
Condensed sugar.
I mean, there's all kinds of things that anyway you roll it into a ball, freeze it, dip it in chocolate, and I mean I'm serious. I could eat those until I throw them out.
Now,
They're
do
good.
you, do you make those?
Oh, yeah.
I make those. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, hand
save
dip
me a
them.
batch.
I was going to say, we've got to try it.
Hand dip them and everything. So I mean, it is, and it's one of those you either love it or you hate it kind of situations. Joanna hates them.
Yeah.
Really?
But Tyler's like, okay, I can eat this. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is,
All right.
but I can eat them till I make myself sick. I love them.
It's all.
He's drooling over
I'm
here.
gonna have to go home and eat some in just a few minutes.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, it is getting pretty close to lunchtime, so
It is
that
pretty
probably
close.
wasn't the best question
Yeah.
for
No, that's
the
good.
time. But
No, for me, it's all those little things like the Martha Washington candy or the peanut butter dipped, the Buckeyes. That's what I was thinking of. Because one of my memories is when Vanessa and I were dating, going to her house. I mean, they had this counter at the back, and it was, there was no space. You couldn't see the top of the counter. There were just all these little finger foods, and I just feel an obligation when there are things to hand that I just need to pick them up and eat them.
Right.
And they were all, just wonderful millionaires and chocolate covered pretzels, and just if you could think of it, it was just about there. The roasted pecans, just all kinds of those. So when the Christmas tins come out, my heart flutters a little bit, and I get real excited about that because it's a good moment. Because I know good things are in there, and I know in just a few moments I can go back to the house, walk through the door, and grab a handful of whatever's there. We've got the crack mix that's ready to go, and all that. That's Chex Mix. We call it crack mix because it's like once you start eating it, it's like being a crack addict. You can't stop. But all those kinds of things. I just love that at Christmas because that's usually not around. It's probably a good thing that's not around. It'd be bad.
Well,
for me.
you're scared you'd be fat.
No, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I don't
think
think
genetically
so.
I'm not going
I
to have a
don't
problem with
think
that.
so.
But
Yeah.
a heart doctor might have an issue with it at that point. So,
Well, I got one more question. Do you have any questions,
I
John, that
was
you were thinking
going to
through?
go down the Christmas Carol. What's your go-to Christmas
That's a good
Carol?
one.
That's hard.
I know
hard.
that is hard because I love all the Christmas songs. I love the hymns. I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. We're singing that Sunday. We're going to sing several songs on Sunday, but I do. I love that. I love it when Christmas falls really
Right.
close to the actual day so that we can purposely sing that song.
Yeah, I love it. I love gathering at Christmas.
And we will hear the bells on Christmas.
Yes,
right.
we
I know,
will.
that's what
We
I was thinking.
will.
That's going to be a really cool
And
moment.
that's been, and to that, that's one of my favorite traditions that we have started here at the church, is ringing the bell, at Christmas and at Easter and other times, and making that happen. And one of my favorite memories is with Miss Joyce Richardson. It was 3 years ago now. And my family, we had walked up here. Mom was still with us, and the dogs were with us, and all that. And we rang the bell, and Miss Joyce drove up, and I said, "Miss Joyce, are you coming to ring the bell?" And she said, "I have always wanted to ring that bell." And so we took her up there and rang the bell, and it was just such a joy to be a part of that with her. And it's a lot of fun, because we live close enough here in town that I hear it. And so on Christmas Day, I kind of purposely find my way outside more and more, and you're able to hear it throughout the day, and just the reminder of, people are celebrating the birth of Christ and sharing that with everybody that cares to hear. So it's a fun thing.
Your favorite Christmas carol?
It probably would have to be, I really like O Come, Emmanuel.
Yep.
And O Holy Night. Those are two.
Oh, Holy Night's mine.
Anything with an O in it,
Oh, come on, you paid for
or
it.
done with my key.
Yep.
Those are ones I like.
Yep.
Oh, my
That's good.
goodness.
Yep.
Good stuff.
All right, now I forgot my.
I can't help you.
Here's mine.
There it
Okay,
is.
as moms,
Oh, good.
how did becoming a mom change your perception on the Christmas story? How did that help you read the Christmas story and what Mary and Joseph were going through?
Yeah.
How did that change when you became a mom?
Well, I'm trying to think. For 2 of my 3 children, I was pregnant
Yeah.
through Christmas. Their due dates were December 25th and December 25th. How weird is that?
Wow.
So, lots and lots of thoughts just run through your mind. I'm thinking, poor Mary.
Right. On a donkey. Yeah.
Riding on a donkey.
And here we are waiting on a grandchild.
I know, and here we are waiting on a grandchild for Christmas as well right now. But I do, I think about Mary, and I think about, riding a donkey when she's 9 months pregnant, and then, having a baby in a barn. And I mean, I know that in that time, they didn't go to a hospital and have a baby in the first place, but, just to think about, where we are today, to be able to, go to a hospital and have all of the, here's some drugs, this kind
Right.
of stuff, and, be medicated so that there's, nothing uncomfortable and whatnot. So, I think a lot about that, what she went through, having a child the way she did, and, how it's
It's made that more of a
so
reality.
different. Yeah. So,
Well, so I was pregnant with Josiah through Christmas one year, and then Judah was due right before Christmas, and he came a little bit early after Thanksgiving. But I remember it's kind of those similar things, and also thinking that it was also. I mean, you read about all the stuff, and just knowing what I knew about childbirth and stuff, and how maternal deaths throughout the world are kind of, I mean, especially before modern medicine, were exponentially higher. Before hand washing was a common practice,
Right.
before they could stop hemorrhaging in an effective way. I mean, so what Mary was encountering was also kind of almost risky in a way,
Sure.
So that was something. There's a lot of trust and faith you have to have as a mother in general, but just the amount of faith that she had to have in God to go through with that process, birth and everything, or just to endure that without. And we don't really have an account of her complaining or anything, but I imagine that she was very
uncomfortable,
but trusting on all that, trusting
Right,
in God
right,
and all that, and
right.
that and I love how she celebrated the unexpected, this pregnancy that she had, the life, just the celebration that she had of the Messiah finally coming. I mean, I don't know. I just think that's a really, as to see that. So from a mother's perspective, like I just remember thinking as I read through all that stuff at that time, whenever I was very large pregnant and complaining a whole lot, just thinking about Mary's, how she must have seen all those things as precious, and how I never forget when we did the musical and Judah played Baby Jesus, and I remember that verse about Mary treasured all these things in her heart. I was like, how much more so when you're holding
Right.
the Messiah,
you
because
imagine?
we all as mothers want to treasure those things, but how she must have just documented every single little thing as much as she could, memorize everything.
Wow.
Anyway,
I love y'all's perspective. That's so good. That's so good to hear.
I went
Good
on a little
question,
tangent
Josh.
there. I need to write it out before and read it.
That's good.
But no, that's good. That's all I have, and we're about at time.
We're
Anything
good.
else
No, that was
from
great.
anybody?
And we specifically planned to be here so y'all could get the ambient noise of the courthouse bells appropriately there.
Right.
It's good stuff, and just a treasure here. And we wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and we're so grateful for you as a church family, and those of you who tune into the podcast, just grateful for your participation in what God's doing here in this place. And we pray that you have a blessed, wonderful celebration of Christmas. And again, let me just emphasize, we're still Advent, we're still anticipating, we're looking forward to that coming, and we will celebrate the fact of His coming in the days that follow. We're looking forward to that.
Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Amen.